In Baltimore, Mayor Stephanie is struggling with the issue of homelessness. There are tons of people sleeping on the street, and Baltimore citizens are upset about it. In a rich nation like the US, homelessness, like poverty generally, is a simple problem to solve policy-wise, but a tough nut to crack politically. According to the official statistic from Baltimore Sun, in 2015, there are 3,000 people are homelessness on any given night in Baltimore. 30,000 Baltimore residents experience homelessness in a year. For every 100 low-income households, Baltimore only offers 29 affordable units, and some of abandoned buildings are associated with higher rates of violence and fall victim to fires. 16% of Baltimore's housing stocks are vacant homes, which means there are 48,000 empty rooms can be provided to homeless people. So today, we would like to demonstrate the simplest imaginable solution, namely community-aligned trust. Works like a charm and actually saves money.
It's a development scheme that has been around for the last 40 years, so it's not something new. It has been tried and done before. Basically, there are many variations of community land trust programs. What we are trying to do is create a dual ownership partnership between the owner and the non-profit, where the non-profit owns the land and leases it for a small amount to the owner. Okay, so it's what we are trying to do is like set up a leasing agreement with the owner. So CLT creates collaboration between public and private sectors, residents, and community leaders. So what we propose to do is we buy, own, and develop abandoned homes. So abandoned homes are bought, owned, developed, and governed by the CLT. Then after it's bought, the units are leased to individuals for say $50 per month or 30% of their income, whichever is more. So we are basically aiming at homeless guys, extremely poor guys. So these are reasonable amounts for them. And the leasing agreements will include resale formulas so that if the homeowners do not follow the rules, CLT as authority has the right to kick them out. And homeless tenants are assigned counselors. That is one of the requirements for leasing. So they'll be given counseling sessions so they can get back into the mainstream society. They can look for a job, look for better lives. They can acquire skills, things like that. And business tax incentives for grocery store, pharmacies, laundromat, etc. So we'll be trying to offer business incentives for tax incentives for businesses so that they be encouraged to set up shops, businesses in the community, and which filters down. Basically, it will provide jobs for these tenants, for these homeless guys.
Denver, LA, and Salt Lake City have all initiated similar campaigns to house their homeless. Denver's program provided housing to more than 200 chronically homeless individuals. Emergency room visits and costs were reduced by an average of 34.3%. Hospital inpatient costs were reduced by 66%. Detox visits were reduced by 82%. And incarceration days and costs were reduced by 76%. We expect to have similar, if not better, outcomes in Baltimore. 90% of the construction money would come from federal low-income housing tax credit programs. This will give tax credits to large financial corporations that provide financing for housing authorities or nonprofits to build low-income housing. The remaining 10% of construction costs will come from state taxes and charitable organizations. We're asking for $3 million in return for a board of directors seat and equity in the Community Land Trust. Together, we can house our homeless and make Baltimore better.